as a console stream. My name is CM Shirna.
My name is CM Trent.
And hopefully the sound is alright. The setup all messed around over the week that we weren't here. So hopefully everything sounds
How's the
good.
sound, everyone?
Let's go. Rework Shirna went. Man, I need it. It's just getting too tired, man. Audio sounds good. All right.
One person said it, so we're going to keep on going. So if you're new to the stream, or if it's been a while since we've been around, the stream order is basically going to be state of the address, patch notes, event notes, then we're going to show a bit of gameplay, and then do a dedicated Q&A and go from there. Now, the first state of the address, and just to kind of clear this out of the way, last week, PC got a letter from the devs, essentially, with Jaheim, right? Got a letter from Jaheim, and what we wanted to do was kind of do something that's for our version. So that note that's specifically going to be about console and console feedback and stuff like that is scheduled for later this week. If there are any delays with it, we'll be sure to let you guys know ahead of time with through Discord or SNS or something like that. We'll try and figure it out from there. The next thing is this update is going to happen tomorrow.
Yep.
And then after that, the update schedule might be a little bit wonky because we have Chuseok in Korea, which is
Thanksgiving, basically.
Thanksgiving in Korea. So the update schedule might be slightly weird, but we'll be sure to let you guys know ahead of time in regards to that.
Yep.
And those are the two state of addresses right now.
Yep.
Anything else you want to go over?
I don't think so.
Okay. In that case, let's just go through. I'll touch on this. Why didn't we just release it last week instead of this? Because console situation is a little bit different right now, so we want to be able to actually do it right. So yeah.
Yeah, the PC one talked about the future direction of development and what they're going to be working on, the class revamps and stuff like that, which we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
Ours will be more focused towards the console side of things and how console is doing.
That being said, the note from PC is towards Black Desert as a whole.
Yeah.
So that does affect us, but we also want to focus in on certain console-related things. That being said, let's jump into the patch notes.
Right, let's get it out of the way because this update has quite a few of these. Right, you ready? Can you remember the lines?
Yeah.
We bought you drying in the desert.
We brought you walking.
We bought you new skill UI.
We brought you the ability to move multiple things at once in and out of storages and central markets.
That's the one I was going for.
I know. What else you got? What else you got?
I've been beaten again. All right, the technology is here. Basically, a lot of this update is quality of life changes. There was supposed to be more, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So this update is going to be let's call it a quality of life update.
Yeah, and it is a pretty big quality of life update. Let's get started with the content changes. The enhancement UI has been changed, so now you can directly put black stones into enhancement stacks. Basically, the UI has been changed. You take black stones, you give it to the black spirit, and he spits out an enhancement chance.
Yeah.
So that has been added, and you can add in your Valk's cries and things like that on top.
Let's kind of talk about this for a bit. So currently, in terms of enhancements, the way to go about enhancements is fail stacking, advice of Valk's cry, and whatnot. And one of the quality of life changes that this will bring is that you'll be able to make your stacks without having to go through Reblath, unless you want to still. But you don't have to go through Reblath or whatever to build certain stacks. We're going to show that during the gameplay to show you how many blackstones you need and how that kind of operates. The UI has slightly changed as well, so we'll explain that during the gameplay.
And I just want to say a huge RIP to every piece of Reblath out there right now that probably will be either devoured or just chucked. So rest in pepperonis, Reblath armor. Okay, quick notice here. The Altar of Blood has its doors closed. Basically, it's going to be reworked, so it will be temporarily unavailable. When it becomes available, we do not know. But basically, all the Altar of Blood quest line, which starts with Yaz and the Mountain of Sanctity, all that has disappeared out of the game. So Altar of Blood has been taken down due to an upcoming rework slash,
You want me to do this one?
renewal.
I'll skip through this part.
Yeah, sure.
The next one, another big quality of life update, is that pet groups have been added to Black Desert console. For those of you that don't know, what are pet groups?
Pet groups are a way that you can easily switch between different pet groups that you have. So if you wanted to have more life skill buff pets out at a time, you can now set that to come out with group 1 or 2, and then you can switch between the pets depending on... I sound different? All right, well, I'll bring it closer. But yeah, your pet groups will depend, and if you want combat focused or life skill focused, they are your choices. If you just want the aesthetic of having all the dragons out at the same time, you can now do that with the pet groups. We've also improved... All right, I'm not sure about this one. This one we haven't had a chance to check, but the Central Market UI, you can now re-register items listed for sale or ordered. Also, new items should show a little more clearly when they're added to your Central Market. So you should be able to find new items a little bit easier in the sprawl.
Yeah.
This is especially important if you're like me and put everything in your Central Market.
Yep. This is kind of big, actually, as well.
Yeah, go for
Honestly.
it.
So in terms of Ataraxian, there is a quest called the Co-op Recovered Vow. We've changed that so that you can now do the thread in it by yourself, removing the word co-op in it, and you'll have to spend 10 energy for certain supplies while proceeding with this quest. You can now do this on your own, whereas before you needed a whole bunch of people to do it. So that is a quality of life change for Ataraxian. Next one.
Then there's a whole bunch of quest changes and just like modifications, maybe moving the camera around, making it easier to read, or a character doing something nicer.
There's one I want to touch on here.
I was going to bring that. Isn't that in a different section?
No, it's behind that page over there.
Oh, did I not turn that page over?
There
Oh,
it
okay,
is.
I didn't turn
You
that
wanna go
page
for it?
over. Yeah, sure. So the daily Old Moon subjugation quests have been modified. So we're adding new ones in. So one is just a generic defeat 3,000 monsters. Then we're adding Ataraxion-based ones, Cactum, Shuriken Daytime, and Tashira Ruins. So
And for those of you that don't know, what is the Daily Old Moon Guild subjugation request?
they are for the Burning Moonlight Blackstone Powder, which will allow you to eventually get a pen accessory. It is a long-term quest that you can do. It takes quite a while. Basically, you get the Moonlight Fragment, the Moonlight Powder, you make stones, and then you tap a special accessory, and it goes from Pry, Duo, Try, to Tet, then to Pen.
So having the general 3,000 monsters will be helpful if you don't want to stick in just one location and want to move around stuff. There is one that is Ataraxian based, as well as some Dregan locations.
Yeah. Okay, UI changes. The skill filter has been added to make it easier to find skills with debuffs. So this means if you want to find a skill in your list that has, let's say, knockdown, you can now press a button and it will highlight every knockdown skill you have. So that is a nice quality of life change. I think it also includes which ones have super armor and iframes and things like that as well. So we'll show that later on.
Yeah, pretty much. Which one was the other one? Another thing that's been added, which was the... it was requested by people who like switching in and out between characters a lot. So when you switch between characters, you can check their inventory, whether it's their regular inventory or their Pearl inventory. And then when you switch character, regardless of what selection you had, inventory or Pearl inventory, it would reset back to inventory. A small quality of life change has been added where it now retains that, so you can just scroll through all of inventory versus all of Pearl or switch between the two. It will remember that input.
Yep. One of the console UI requests that we received a decent amount when the tutorial, the skill guide was added, was to split the skill guide and the skill log. That has now been added, so you can have a list of what skills you are currently using and not have to have the skill guide up. The minimap in Red Battlefield has been changed so that now your team will show one color and the other team will show another. This will make it easier to find people in Red Battlefield.
There's also, we added the hide UI when hit setting. So basically, you can, if you didn't want to get knocked out of UI all the time, there are certain UI elements that you won't get knocked out of anymore. You just have to toggle it, which is conversations with NPCs, pro shop, customization, dice, knowledge, world map skills. And all that notice will be in the patch notes to double check all that.
Yep. You can now turn off your friend and guild member logins that appear in the center of the screen. So if you have a large friend list or a large guild, sometimes it could be annoying. That has now got a toggle feature, so you can turn that off if you wish.
Okay, now for some bigger quality of life changes that people have been asking for. We have reduced the weight of certain potions and recovery items by 50%. So HP pots, MP pots, WP pots, SP pots, grain juices, and herbal juices, the weight of those items have been decreased by 50%.
Yep.
Why is it 50%? Why do we decrease it?
Because they're heavy.
There you go. So yeah, pots have generally been quite heavy in general, but they've also wanted to make sure that like we don't delegitimize people's treasure items. Mm-hmm. And so a 50% mark is a good thing, I think. So having those pots reduced by 50 is good.
Someone's like, what's the point of the infinite pot then? The infinite pot saves you a lot of silver in the long run. If you consider that maybe you go through, let's say, 200-300 potions in an hour. I don't know what you guys go through. I have an infinite pot, so I don't really keep track. But you're saving silver over the long run. Also, you're saving the weight because you won't have to carry 100 items. I think it's 1.35. So you won't have to carry 100 items that now weigh 13.5 LT. So there is still benefits to having the infinite pots if you have them.
That being said, the weight items that also have like the guild tag in front of it have also been reduced.
Not been reduced.
Have
the same weight as before.
Have been reduced.
Oh, the guild one, but the Battlefield and other ones that are content specific have not been changed. Okay, reduce the cooldown of certain
drafts,
courages.
Yeah, drafts, perfumes, elixirs.
Drafts? It's not drafts. It's not drafts.
It's not drafts, sorry.
Perfume of Courage, Elixir of Deep Sea, Couch Elixir, Spirit Perfume Elixir, and Perfume of Swiftness. Their cooldown has been changed to 10 seconds. So if you pop one that die immediately, you can now get back up and pop a new one. That's basically why that has been added. And then huge quality of life change. Anyone who grinds in the mines will know this. Crystal covered in black ash has been changed from character bound to family bound. So now you can whack those bad boys in a storage. You didn't want to do this, so I'll do this. Conquest War changes.
Hold on. Before that, if you are going to do Valencia Part 2 questlines.
Oh, no. Nobody does Valencia
If you're going to do Valencia Part 2,
don't.
You can now get shabby shovels from other NPCs. Because you don't want to go back to the guy all the time. There's other. For those of you who do Part 2, this means a lot to you, but
nobody should do Part 2. Okay, Node War and Conquest War changes. The limits for Tier 4 Node Wars on the Flame Towers and Elephant Nurseries, both of those have been reduced by 1. So it's now 2 Flame Towers and 1 Elephant Nursery. We've combined all annexes into one item. So now you can buy, let's say, 10 of those items and then summon 10 annexes from that. That includes things like Huachas, Flame Towers, all that good stuff. So it's one item you will buy for 1 million silver from the Guild Military Shop. It will give you the one relevant to the node you are currently based on. And then it will summon, you can choose which to use. So you can choose the Huacha from it, and then it installs. You can choose the Flame Tower, then it installs. Basically, combining them all into one item just makes the UI there a little bit easier to see. Also, what was that one? Added details. Oh, added details about some stuff. The selling price of previous annex-related stuff. So if you bought like the defense towers or anything like that, that has all been changed to match the price that you purchased it at. So if in your storage you have, let's say, 1,000 Huachas, you will now get 1,000 Huachas worth of silver back when you sell them. So that way you're not losing money with the aforementioned change of the annex building tool. And that is a big list, so I'm not going to go through all those items. Horses now do 10% more damage to wooden fences and fence gates with skills in Node Wars and Conquest Wars. And also the damage of the Guild Elephant has been increased by 10% on wooden fences and wooden gates with basic skills, Horn Attack, Charge Attack, 4 Chop. during Node and Conquest Wars.
All those details, again, will be in the patch notes when we actually release them in full detail. Next up, character changes. So one thing that we've done is... Do you want me to go over this one?
Yeah, sure.
So we've reduced the cooldown of the change skill preset, that the function that you get from the Secret Book of Old Moon, from 60 minutes to 10 minutes. The Book of Old Moon allows you to switch presets, and that cooldown has been reduced.
Right.
The other thing...
No, guys. We're basically releasing a new class with this next change.
I'm so sorry. I've worked really hard on this. For Tamers, there was an issue where if you were to evade in pre-awakening or in succession, the camera would move along with you. That has been fixed. The other thing that has been fixed is the evasion attack, the sideways swipe, essentially. The camera no longer moves you in a circle. It actually works as intended.
So look forward to the new class, Tamer.
Dude, all the combos are different now. Like, the fact that that actually works, I'm so happy. Like, so, I'm actually really happy about that. Other stuff I know about, but my God, I'm happy about Tamer in general.
Okay, the other stuff.
How dare you, Bates? So, yeah.
Nova has been adjusted. I'm going to say
Adjusted is the word.
Yeah, that's the word. The recovery of Star's Breath is now 5% per scattered star instead of 10%. And the consumable resources of Twisted Orbit and Axel Twisted Orbit has been changed to 50 stamina. I need to actually take a double look on that. Consumes 50 stamina upon using the skill, 100 stamina during skill cooldown. So Nova has been changed, as has Sage. Form Shift has had its critical rate effect removed. And then in Awakening, Bolt is no longer an invincible effect. It is now a super armor. And a couple of changes. Lightning Prison is only PvE crit hit rate. And then a couple of fixes.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, Sage's, I guess,
Have been adjusted.
was originally a diamond cannon. Now it's more like a wooden paper kind of, like the Japanese paper stuff.
Yeah.
It's now more like that kind of cannon.
It is a cannon.
We'll see how it goes.
On paper.
Again, remember, balance is always something that we're trying to keep on top of. And I know it's taken a long time for Sage, probably because, just reducing the damage wasn't working as well, because even if you only give him 1 damage, but you can't hit him, he's still going to get you down in a battle of attrition. So I guess that's why it's taken so long, is to find the right route. Whether this is the right route, time will tell. But Sage has been changed.
One thing to mention about Tamers, because people are asking about, how do you fix that and not the dub stuff? The dub thing is under review, where we're basically looking at specifically console users that have given us their feedback, as well as people within the company and myself, of what would be the best button input and the way to do it.
Yeah.
There's also the talks of the character reworks that are going to happen. We're trying to figure that out as well, and how that would play into it. So, yeah. In terms of character changes, I think we're good on that end.
Other changes are done as well. There's not much there.
Other changes.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, we're not going to say that one. Because, if someone will be like, after the update, it's going to be like, I fell through the map. Yeah. Basically, getting trapped in certain situations has been fixed, but obviously it's not going to fix all the issues where, you fall through the map or if you get stuck in a rock. But we fixed some of them.
Oh, God. Armin's here.
All right. Okay.
Anyways, so that's the patch notes. Sorry, Armin. That is the patch notes. We're going to go right into the event notices that are going to start up for tomorrow-ish kind of thing. So one thing is Moonlight's Blessing playtime reward. So if you guys don't know what Moonlight Fragments are, you take a Moonlight Fragment, you take a Memory Fragment, you smash them together, and it can make more. So based on the amount of time that you play in the game, you'll be able to get these Moonlight Fragments. On weekends, this thing has been buffed, so you get 2 Moonlight Fragments in total, and going from there. So, a playtime challenge there. There's another one that's kind of difficult to explain, but not really. We're gonna have a very special hot time. The special hot time is basically on season servers. The combat EXP is gonna be 300% increased, and skill EXP will be 50%. Whereas regular and Arsha servers will be combat EXP 200% and skill EXP plus 50%.
But if you're above level 50, it will not apply.
The
combat
combat
will not apply.
The other thing is all servers will receive a item drop rate increase by 50%.
Yeah. Except it won't stack with the current Arsha one.
Yeah,
so
it won't stack, but yeah, all servers will have that 50% increase. The next thing is for I don't think we need to explain this actually, because it's mostly new user stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
new user events,
Yeah.
including giving them some gear and stuff like that.
Yeah, the new user events, because the people who watch the stream are generally people who are already playing. I'm just
Yep.
going to leave that as is. Going through, same thing. And one more thing at the end. One event is the, where to go? Source of Lightning event. So the Source of Lightning event, if you guys remember, basically during your adventures in Black Desert, when you get smacked by this random lightning storm and a message will appear, you get smacked by the lightning storm, you will get a monster or extra AP against monsters buff that will last about 5 minutes, and then it can get refreshed if you get smacked by the lightning again.
It is particularly tricky to find and see. We are aware of that. Hopefully something has changed, but I'm not 100% certain. Okay, you should keep the patch notes up because we're gonna go through some of the things. And then,
Okay.
No, I'll just give you mine because I'll do the playing. There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I guess it's time to go to the gameplay section. Oh, look at Kashima slipping. Oh,
Gameplay section?
Dear,
Gameplay section, Kashima?
Kashima. Oh, that was...
Man, this never happens to Armin when he streams. I don't understand this.
All right, so, okay. This is what it looks like right now. Kashima has some very choice words. Okay, so we're going to go to the edit UI first, and we can see that the skill log is there. And then we can, I guess, move it around?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't check that before. So the skill log is now there and movable. You can fix it in, save. And then when you do skills, it takes a little bit of time to come back. There we go. Yeah, woo! So now you can separate that out of the skill
Did
guide.
you change your UI again?
Yeah, I reset everything.
I see. That explains a lot.
Because, all right, so I had to reset everything because everything became messed up because a certain person who is involved in these streams does like to move things around randomly without telling anyone. And I'm like, oh man, I think this is broken. And it isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, skill pet groups, I guess, would be next.
Yep.
As you can see, we have quite a few pets. They're all named Create Pet, and we have Bob, obviously. So what you can do is select the pet, go to set as group 1, 2, 3, and you can be in multiple groups. So if you want to use the same pet there, you can. I'm going to remove him from that group. And then you use the right stick to move across the list at the bottom, which one you have out. And, oh no, I tried to select with A. That doesn't work. You have to press down the right stick to summon the pets in a group. And if there are no pets in the group, it will put them all away automatically. And if you want to reset the group, you just press LT and that. Do you really want to reset? Sure. So now, if I go back to 1, oh no, it resets all of them. Okay, there's an S missing there. Didn't
Reset
know
groups.
that.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to someone about that. Oh, didn't want to exchange. So pet groups are there. What else was I going to show? Oh, Sage's Awakening. Let's go super armor instead of the invincibility frame. We'll see how this goes. We'll continue to monitor Sage's performance and then see what else can be done there. If there is any need to change anything in the future.
Yeah.
Was there something else that oh, right.
Black Spirit.
I completely forgot about that. All right, come on, man. There we go.
So go to enhancement.
Enhancement, and we have the new UI here. It looks very similar to the old one, but it is completely new. Believe me and you. Right, so you go to the plus sign here, and you can now add Blackstones. It comes up with the list of things you can add. Blackstone weapon, Blackstone armor, or a Vice of Valks. You cannot mix your weapon and armor to build up the stack. You have to use one or the other. So here I'm going to use the Blackstone weapon, and you can see the list of Blackstones required to make a stack. So it's 5 for 5, mostly because those enhancements, I guess, are guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then it goes up a little bit more. 53 Blackstones of weapon will help you make a 25 stack, and 84 for a 30 stack. And if you're wondering why the disparity is so high, it's because the considered silver cost has been put into the Blackstones instead of complicating it with Blackstones and silver. But yeah, you can then make a stack, apply, and bam, now we have a 25 stack on the Black Spirit. Vice of Valks, you go in here, it shows you your
Valk's Cry.
Sorry, Valk's Cry, same thing. And then you open it, you set which one you want, apply, bam, now we have 6. Oh, it rolls, that's nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. You have your natives band here, so it's no longer open immediately, so you don't have to scroll all the way through, and you can turn that off. So now you can go bam, bam, which is a huge quality of life change. And then store enhancement will automatically take you to the extract menu for your Black Spirit's secret book.
Yeah, for those of you who do have Blackstones in reserves right now, this will be awesome for you. If you haven't, then Reblath is still the way to go. But yeah, because Blackstones don't exist on the markets right now.
Yeah,
Both NA EU.
Yeah.
And I think with this update coming out, Blackstones will still be a pretty good commodity to have. So if you're light scaling for them and all this kind of stuff, it'll be good.
I mean, one of the things is, even if you add an event, I'm going to say now, like, we do have the item drop event, which will, I guess, help with that. But one of the things worth noting is, even if we added an event where there's extra drops, no one's going to sell them, because right now everyone is just kind of hoarding them for the Moonlight event, not the event, the Moonlight quest with the accessories. So, yeah, hopefully the 50% works, and we'll continue to monitor the Blackstone situation after that.
Yeah, Blackstone's going off really quickly. That makes sense. I know that.
Okay, was there anything else that we were going to show? I was going to show Tamer, but...
Go to skill.
Switch. Oh, yeah, right. Character, skill. Okay, so this is the menu. It looks exactly the same, but where is my filter, Trent?
Go up.
Yeah?
There it is.
Oh, it's as if you know. And then you can check what add-ons you have. I didn't see that one before.
There's add-ons as well as the ones that have a Black Spirit version of it. Because our menu right now is you have to press certain buttons to see the Black Spirit demo of it.
Yeah.
But this will actually help you find which ones have it, which ones have invincible skills, super armors, and stuff like that. You can check all these things.
Yep, so you can see which ones have floating, bound, stun, none of them, stiffness, down at the bottom, knockback up there, grapple, freezing, down smash, down attack, air attack.
Yep.
So you can see which which skills do stuff. I actually kind of like this change. It will help me with the Pit of Undying, because I can never remember what skills do what.
Fair.
Because I am a heathen. I just smack buttons. Okay. That was that. Was there anything else that we had to show on the Sage?
On the Sage? No. No, there's not much else. Sage has been adjusted. So, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, I'll switch characters. Kashima, quickly. Is he going to switch? Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't show off the red battlefield minimap change or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, some of the changes that are in with this, some of the quality of life changes, unfortunately, we can't quite show due to limitations of only being the one person on the server and not having an active central market.
Because this is a test server. So, yeah.
Okay, let's go back into gameplay for Trent's biggest update of the year.
I know about the dub thing, but at the moment, just having evasion attack and evasion in general, you're not showing the thing that we want.
What do you mean? What's wrong with forward evasion?
Let's not start on that.
No.
Because even I know there's something wrong with it.
But it said they can't do it if you're not...
No, it's the delay.
Ah, okay.
You have to keep tapping it, and then there's like a starter step, and then you do it again. You know the issue that we have with how hotkeys and ring menus function differently?
Okay,
right?
so you
It's
can't
that kind of thing.
you can't chain it.
Yeah.
All right, so sideways attacks. Look at that, no camera rotation, and more importantly, I've used up all my stamina, haven't I? No rotation on the dodges. Let's go.
Yeah. So that part makes me actually really happy because there's certain things now we can do as tamers, but the dub thing still needs to be fixed.
I was gonna do
That was a trigger to all tamers. Like, dude, even I got turned up. I was like, what do you mean it's okay?
Look, man. Every other class has a stop in its iframes.
No, it doesn't. What? How dare you? Who uses evasion? You don't play tamer. So, like...
Tamer actually does use evasion.
Yeah. So the fact that the camera doesn't rotate with it means that, like, you can actually aim properly. Oh, it just makes me happy. But yeah. Don't you dare say it's okay. Don't you dare say it's okay.
Look, man. It's got gaps. It's fine.
It's not okay. Don't you dare. No, because I was talking to quite a few tamers with this, with even having the evasion part of it, as well as the evasion attack of it, helps with certain combos that we weren't able to do previously. Now, with the forward dubs, that will help solidify combos in general for tamer, right? So now what we're trying to do is kind of look at how the rework is going to fit into all of it. Is this a tamer rework? No. It's a console-specific issue. So how all of that's going to work together? So with the...
There is a reason why I'm not showing the reworks is because I am not good with the classes rework so far.
When I say I talk to tamer people, it's usually like tamer reps on Discord or whoever I can catch streaming, and I ask them to try certain things. And yeah, whoever is playing it. So like, am I allowed to say names? Ponda's one of them, right? Ponda's one. There's a couple people in EU that are also that I kind of go at with like asking for how to go about this and what combos they want to be able to use and stuff like that. On terms of my end, it's more like not so much as combos that are well distributed, but more so that like, look, I want to be able to do this part here. And if you play other classes, you're able to do this. Well, why can't this class do that? And it felt like more of a functional hiccup than it is a class-specific style hiccup. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. Also, you're playing an Awakening, so, yeah.
I thought...
What are you doing?
Well, forward legendary beast power is WW. I guess that's something that we have to bring up again. Because most of the WWs were changed to LT up, right? Double tap LT
Yeah,
to do
that's
it.
the thing.
Can't do that in Awakening. You have to double tap up, yeah. I legitimately don't play Tamer.
Yeah, because I was just like, oh, this hurts my soul a bit. But yeah, no, get in there, which is nice.
Yeah.
Anything else we have to show in-game?
I
I think other than pots, like that there's weight differences, but yeah.
Didn't we have the pots on... No, we didn't. Okay, remember, this is a test server. You probably just saw stuff that, I don't know, might not even be in.
Yeah.
But this is a test server, which is why we're always penned out. Some people think that we're always penned out on our personal accounts, and I can tell you for a fact...
I am very far from that.
He is very far away from it. I'm getting there. I need pen accessories. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay.
Can you show us the relist function?
No, because I think you need someone to buy or buy from.
Yeah, so unfortunately we can't show that on this one because it's a test server, the way that the central market works on the test server is quite different. And we start messing around with it a little bit more. So, yeah, probably can't show that. But yeah, the weight has been reduced by 50%. It used to be 2.5. For that one specifically, it is now 1.25, et cetera, et cetera. If you can divide by 2, you'll be able to find it.
Dividing by 2 is too hard.
I was not good at division.
Really?
Small division? No. Large numbers? Yes. It was really weird.
Okay, so basically that's the weight there. And I think that was all that there really was to show this update. As I said, can't show the other stuff. I'll take a quick look through. Let's go to full game and
full game?
Full screen. Sorry.
Full screen, yes.
And then I'll take a quick look through while we're talking.
Yeah, okay, let's do this. So, any plans at all for Shy? I believe so. Yes. Like,
Nothing we can announce.
I can't announce anything, but yeah.
They're always being looked into.
The kill noties and stuff. I know we don't have kill noties, but so far with the stuff that we have right now in this update, I think I actually really like the quality of life changes here. It is not the massive content update that we usually have.
Yep.
Not usually, but like the content updates that we have. But yeah, no, I'm good with this. The Ghillie changes. So what people are talking about when they say Ghillie is like the Trian and Desert Camo thing and having the name above it now.
Right. Isn't that this update?
No.
Okay.
It's not this update. That, when it comes in, it will be announced ahead of time. Because for those of us that are joining us from PC or that know about PC, that change is actually quite a big one. And so we'll have to let people know ahead of time before we do it. We should not be dropping it right away in this update. Because we didn't announce it beforehand.
I know.
Kashima, can you check that just in case? But yeah, like that will be listed ahead of time when that happens.
Yep, and current Ghillie suits purchased before a certain date will be able to be croned, will be able to be exchanged for crones. Otherwise, you get an unnamed adventure or something like that above your head. Okay, AMD FSR has been coming up quite a bit in chat, so I thought it'd be worth talking. We're looking into what we can do with it on consoles. If we can apply it, we will. If it needs a little bit of work to apply,
It's going to need to work on
it's
it.
going to need to be worked on. But it is something that we know we probably might be able to do. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll be able to get it when we get it into game. I don't really know how to explain it, but we know about it. It's being looked into. I'm trying not to give the internal information here, but yeah, it's being looked into.
Someone also is asking about the Infinipot Lite version. So for those of you that don't know, in the PC notice that went out, there were some plans of like, okay, well, let's see what we can mitigate in terms of treasure hunting, essentially.
Yeah.
There's no dates with that, and we don't have those dates on our end as well. Again, when that kind of information comes out, it will. But I wanted
the dates did come out. I think they
not for console.
Not for console,
Yeah,
but
so
for PC.
With that being said, I actually wanted your guys' feedback on this. Like, how do you guys feel about the Infinipot Lite versions about it?
So, if you don't know what it is, basically, instead of just getting the Ornette Spirit Essence, which is an extra large potion, if you get one piece and I think something else, you can combine them to make like a small potion, and then you can combine them to make like a medium, and then a large, and then the full version.
See, that's the thing. There's some people who are just like, I have the pot and I worked really hard on it. Why should people get an Infinite version?
Yep. Then there are the people who, you know, are like, I don't want people to go through the same suffering I went through.
Yeah.
But yeah. Pity system is also in there. But yeah.
The pay system looks good. Yeah, no, like some people like it, some people don't. People who do have it don't want to give that up. Yeah, I get that.
I believe there's a special title, and I don't know about the name on it, but there is a special title.
No, but I do get it where people are for or against it. Like, you can't say that people are wrong in the way that they feel about that.
Someone was like, hey, PA doesn't know how to do AMD FSR, right? Thing is, we have to put it in.
Yeah.
So we have to see how it goes.
No, like, I wouldn't say that they're selfish. Like, I understand that, right? Like,
I mean, I worked hard for it, and I kind of, you know, I did think to myself, like, man, I put all that effort in to get it, and now people are going to get it. But I'm like, honestly?
No, I get that. Like, so I get that, you know, spread the wealth and kind of get okay with this, but compensate others who have worked for it. At the same time, like, I understand when people are like, dude, like, I'm trying not to curse here. I worked really hard on. Sorry, I'm laughing because I didn't want to curse on that one. I worked really hard in getting this, and it's just like now we're getting Infinite Light. That being said, like the specs on the Infinite Light haven't been finalized and stuff like that, so hopefully we can kind of work around that way. Same thing, yeah. People are like, I worked 400 hours, so how are you gonna balance it and give someone a light version with 30 hours kind of thing? I get that. Now, where did it go? I think having multiple methods, having to get the treasure items is actually a good thing and morale for the game. Yeah. No, like you can't go wrong either way with that one, like in terms of how people feel about it. So we kind of have to work on that. That being said, there was a comment that was just like, how come they're talking about this stuff when they don't talk about optimization? As always stated, even with the AMD thing, can't really release information until it comes out. So yeah. Where did it go? The time it takes things to get things always shrinks. Yeah, it depends on how you look at it. Because, like, there was a stance that we've had for a long time as a company where it's like, a treasure item is a treasure, right? So if you get this treasure item, you should, like, you'll be proud of the effort that you put into it, which a lot of people are. And to bring that down a bit, like, bring a lighter version of it and have people spend less time, it kind of sucks. So, yeah, I got that.
C10 and Manos when the proverbial soon, I guess, would have to go there.
No, I mean, we're still, according to the roadmap, we're still on pace.
Ish.
No, we're still there.
Okay.
So,
if you say so.
Depending on that, yeah. But yeah, if we can bring that in sooner, we will.
All right. Why does inventory reset and sort itself unsort daily? Okay. Don't know why I have been having this occasionally, especially when I switch between two consoles. Make sure you start disconnect. So you disconnect out of the game completely. That usually sends your settings to the servers. And occasionally they do still reset, and I'm unsure why. It has been reported, though, as something that's happening. The camera, I'm not sure if that will be possible to save. If I remember correctly, there was something there. We've talked about it before, and there was something like it resets for some reason, and I can't remember what that reason is. No, I can't remember what it is. Oh. Took out my my pop filter. But yeah, basically it's something that we're aware of.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, there are people who are saying the same thing with the treasure items, going back to that, where it's like, spread the wealth. Even though I already have one, it'd be nice for everyone to have it, like a lighter version of it. But I think a lot of people are also making those assumptions without knowing what the specs are. So that could tilt you either way.
Yeah.
Like, spec screen is too strong, I'm going back to this side. Or it's not strong enough, okay, I'm going on this side. So it can go either way. So
the performance issues as of late have been reported, and it is being looked into to stabilize things as it is. I don't know whether it'll be in this update, maybe on the back end of things, or in a future update. But we are very well aware of what's been happening, and it has been reported, and people are looking into it to see what is up.
As well as the focus fire thing.
Yeah, the focus. I was just going to get to that, actually.
Oh, sorry.
The cannons and focus fire thing. We thought we had a fix ready by today, but unfortunately, some issues came up with that fix. So it is being looked into. Someone's looking into it very deeply to find out why it's happening. And it is being. It is one of the priorities of a couple of people to try and figure out why it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not just increase drop rate?
Because that still doesn't fix the issue. Someone could still spend, even if you make it like pretty high, someone could still go in and spend 300 hours and get nothing.
Suffer through pots. Yeah. Thank you for all the feedback on the on this side of the treasure item stuff. Like, legitimately, that's actually really helpful. Because it's similar to certain regions in like console in general on our stream. So, which is basically English speakers from NA and certain people who are away from EU that are English speakers. It feels similar to certain areas of PC.
Yeah.
Right. There are certain areas on PC as well that aren't like that. that have a very different and volatile reaction to it, whether it's good or bad. I know for console Asia, it's quite different. So yeah.
Did you just say drop rate doesn't matter? No, drop rate matters, but it's not a guaranteed effect, is what I'm trying. If that makes sense, like you can increase the drop rate, but it's still not a guaranteed effect.
Yep.
Okay. Awakening Black Star Armor, future content. To go over the patch one more time, it's a lot of quality of life changes. We basically started the update with one big, the technology is here. Black stones into stacks up to plus 30.
The enhancement system, yeah.
Let's quickly go over it one more time.
So the enhancement UI has been renewed so that you can throw black stones into your stacks.
Yep. Burning Moonlight Powder quests have been added. The skill filter now shows what skills have certain effects.
Pet groups have also been added, so you can roll out different groups.
Also, Red Battlefield now shows your enemies in a different color. The weight of potions has been halved. Certain perfumes and elixir of deep sea and things like that have had their cooldown reduced to 10 seconds, which means if you die after using it, you can now pop another one. Node War changes, Flame Tower and Elephant Nursery for Tier 4 Node Wars has been reduced by a max of 1. So it's 2 Flame Towers, 1 Elephant Nursery. Skill presets are down to 10 minutes instead of 60 minutes. Sage gets his adjustments, so does Nova. Tamer, camera fix, and that's about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Allow us to sell bartered items from ship inventory. Switching from wolf to player and selling takes too long. Switch to... Oh, I guess it depends where you go. But I always switch to storage and then sell them from there. It's a pain. What you can do, I'm going to give a little, tip, is put as many as you can on your inventory. So on my shy I can get 2. Then summon the donkey. And then just ride over. Because the shy donkey could be summoned anywhere. If you have a celestial horse horn, you can also do that. But
for the donkey?
What we do. Yep. No.
You
For
trying to summon
other
your
horses.
donkey? Yeah, okay.
Horses. Yeah. Are we ever getting new Node War territories? It's something that we're looking into. Maybe. No full news on that yet. You can sell at the wharf manager. Oh, really? Can you? Maybe I'm just a pleb. I've never figured it out. I always just sell to the storage guy.
Life Skiller EXP buffs.
What is a pity system? Honestly, it's still in labs. It's not coming this update. It's still on our test server. But a pity system is basically you have the main item which might have a low drop rate, or which does have a low drop rate. Then you have an item which is rare, but not as rare, and you collect a bunch of those and you can trade them in. That is a pity system. I think that's in, or is it just the small pieces? I can't really remember. It's kind of hazy. Like, we don't really go through labs as often. I do read it, but I kind of forgot it. So there is a system like that, basically, where you basically make it so if you collect 100 of something, you can get something else.
Yeah.
Ghillie Crones. Again, this is stuff that probably isn't coming this update.
No.
So,
like I said, with the Ghillie stuff, and when I say Ghillie, Trent and Desert Camo stuff, that will be announced ahead of time, not just like the day before on the stream. That should be announced ahead of time, right, Kashima? That's a yes.
Yeah. Okay, so the reworks are starting to come up. Okay, so the reworks, Ranger and Warrior, have been shown and are on PC test labs. We're still trying to figure out how we can, showcase that to you without you having to suffer through our absolutely awful gameplay through console. We're not sure how to do it yet. We're still working on that. But basically, they have changed the classes. Warriors getting kind of beefier. I would say Ranger's getting some changes, some skills, some flows have been removed, and some new skills added. But there's quite a few videos out there on these changes already. We'll try and find a way to showcase that to you guys. If you have feedback about the warrior changes and the ranger changes that you have seen, please hit us up on Discord and things like that. We do check regularly by searching, obviously, the keyword ranger rework and warrior rework when we have a chance to take a look through those things. But yeah, that's basically where we are with that. I think the warrior looks great. The ranger is... It feels like a bitter pill to swallow, but I think it's going to be decent. Like, the initial feedback from some people was very negative. Then they played it, and maybe their opinions have changed. So we're still monitoring that. And remember what we said last time with the reworks, there is going to be that awkward period where you're going to have to not relearn everything, but you have to relearn some of the combos, maybe. Or certain things don't work the way they should, or how you feel they should. So there is that uncomfortable period of basically breaking in the skills. We are aware of that, and we do take that into effect when we collect the trends about these things. Like, initial feedback is one stage. You know, feedback after a little bit is another. So yeah, we're monitoring those kind of things as well.
Should come out with a character fusion. It actually sounds cool in theory, though, to be honest. I like that. I actually really like that idea. But the other one was people are asking for a life skill EXP buff, which is valid. Legitimately valid. We haven't had life skill EXP buffs in a while. Like an event. Like, if we're always doing these certain events, we should be able to do this other one as well. Regardless of percentage and state of console, like, change the percentage if you need to and stuff like that, but that should happen. So, yeah, Kashman, can you write that one down, please? But, yeah, that one we do need to talk about, because life skilling, I like it, so.
Yeah, the Ghillie Changes, again, it's going to be, it's quite, actually, right now, it's quite heated. The way it works is basically the Ghillie will now have unknown adventurer above its head. Right?
Right now?
No, it will. When it eventually comes. It's not coming this update, but when it does come, it will have unknown adventurer above its head. Old Ghillies, you'll be able to exchange for Crone Stones. New Ghillies will not be able to because you're purchasing it after the change. I'm not sure the deadline will be after the update, I think. So those things are coming.
Which is why I'm saying, like, because of the way that operates, the notice will have to go out ahead of time.
Yep.
To let people know about it.
So we'll give full details with that, what you're doing, but that's basically how it's going to be. Where's the rest of Rulepi? It's something that might be coming relatively soon.
Yeah. Why can't we adjust the HP and... I'm assuming you mean ring menu. Because of the way that was implemented initially at launch, but I believe that was... I remember hearing something about it last week, about how to mess around with that. But, yeah.
What's wrong with the current Ghillies? Ghillies have always had this kind of issue where, like, if you can't see someone coming, you can't really defend yourself or fight yourself. It's actually very interesting. Like, the debate has raged since its introduction. That's the kind of side effect of it, but the original effect was basically for gathering, right? If I remember correctly.
The initial intent was that, but that's not the primary reason as to why that's happening. Yeah.
So yeah, it basically it was deemed that it gave an unfair advantage.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll continue to look into it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yo, your okay, here we go. Your feedback is being taken aboard, and if there's something we can do, we'll try to do it. But yeah.
Now, in the case of console, I like console users, I kind of get like, we asked for this, but it hasn't come in yet. Like, let's say kill notice or certain things with optimization because it hasn't come out yet. And so, as I've said before, and we'll have to continue saying, is that once we show it, once it happens, that's the time we can say, like, dude, see, like, this is what we worked on. In the meantime, people kind of have to take our word for it, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to do that yet, you know, like, to show a noticeable difference in how things have run. But, yeah, that's the current state of how that is. And then, the coupon, do we show the coupon?
We haven't showed it yet.
We haven't showed it yet?
Nah.
Yeah, might as well. Like, this is just to get people started with the new enhancement UI, so throw it up.
There we go. Stones into stacks enhancement help kit 2 × 1. That will give you 15 stones, is it? 10? 10 stones, weapon, armor, hard, sharp, Valks.
Yeah, and memes.
And memes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Cooper code.
This will get you started with that. We wanted to make sure that, like, for a long time, one of the things that was happening was we would keep throwing in, like, late special gift, and it would, like, super mess up the meme frag market and the Blackstone market. So hopefully this one works out. This is just to get people started on it. It's not to, like, pump them so far up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, the Nova changes. The Star's Breath has been reduced from 10 to 5% when you collect the stars. What were the other changes with it? Oh, Fused Gravity, the Star's Breath from 10 to 5. And Twisted Orbit and Twisted Axel Twisted Orbit consume more stamina.
Yo, Zach, that's a good idea. I don't know if it'll be the same percentages, but that's a really good idea.
What was it?
There.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Okay.
Again, the recent performance issues that we have had, the crashing and frame drops, it's all being looked at very seriously right now because it has been getting worse. So we'll see how that goes, but it has been looked into, has been recorded, has been logged, and is being worked on. Dead Zone UI. Dead Zone UI. Best aim is a problem. Oh, basically like Dead Zone's on controllers for drift issues. Right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's something that has been requested, and we'll see how it goes from there. All right. What type of game is BDO? It is an MMORPG.
If you guys narrow that down.
Okay.
I'm not sure how you would narrow that down. The scope of the game is quite large in terms of, like, which direction you want to go in. But I would say, like, if you come to the streams, a lot of people are mostly into the combat elements of it. There is a life skill majority or group of people on the streams as well, but within communities and in-game, that group increases in size by quite a bit. So yeah, it depends on like who you ask about it.
Go off world boss, say it, you know you want to. Not this update. Things were being done, but unfortunately we're not able to bring it in at the moment. It's still a pretty tricky thing to work out. Even in internal testing, it's causing some issues. But we'll try and get it to work, basically. When are the changes to Ma? What are we changing with Ma? I guess Mehua. I don't know. The rework. I don't know when Mehua is going to be shown at all, so we don't know where they're going to be.
That puppet. No, the reworks in general, like the way that we're going to be showing them and the order in which the classes are going to be coming out, can't give a full list on our end. That's more when it comes out.
I don't think it's going to be in release order though. I know the first two Ranger Warrior was in release order, but I'm not sure if they're going to be continued in that. Depends on the state of
People are
the
going to take that
reworks.
as gospel, man.
I know, but it depends on the state of the reworks, I guess.
Why don't we get 1,000% increase EXP like PC? You want to take that one? Why don't we get 1,000% plus combat EXP on console that PC has?
PC gets it rarely, no?
Rarely, but why did they get it and we don't?
We just haven't reached that point in our lifespan, I guess.
But if we can, dope.
Yeah.
Right, you keep. I remember, like, I saw this a lot. Pity compass, or pity insert treasure item when, or let us trade in certain ways to get to it. I believe Jahinim kind of touched on it, but he was mostly talking about Infinite Lights, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something that we have brought up in the past. I don't know.
Because we brought it up in our meetings, but
Yeah.
with him. But yeah, something to bring up again, like alternate methods to obtaining certain treasure items in general. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Can you make character skins account bound over character bound? I don't know.
Like the skins, like the costumes themselves. So like if you have like, let's say I'll go with tamer. If you have a tamer outfit and then you can move it to another.
To another tamer,
You mean functional stuff?
maybe, or even outfits work, right? If I remember correctly. I don't know. I don't have a second berserker to try things with. But yeah, something we could suggest. Right. Why is it I have a 317 stack and can't hit Pen Blackstar? I mean, Pen Blackstar is a rare item. It's difficult to enhance. I don't know. I can't tell you why you're not. I can't tell you why some people have it. Just the way it goes. Naval Karma when? Okay, Naval Karma has been how can I say this? It's something that we are aware of, but Naval Karma itself has quite a few flaws that I think should be, in my opinion anyway, it has quite a few flaws that might need to be looked at first. But when we can add it in, we will add it in. But yeah, Naval Karma is a bit iffy, in my opinion. Though it would be nice if someone does have negative Naval Karma just to blow them up out of the water. There've been people going around in Carracks,
Yeah.
just like kind of, you're just out on your boat doing some bartering, and then next thing you see is like 100 cannonballs coming your way, and you just sink.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Could even make the pity items an actual trade-off. So trading off different, like, thousands and thousands of trash loot from that location, so you're grinding for it and essentially sacrificing silver as well.
Selling pathing working as intended. It's working as it is right now. There is a smoother mode that's still being worked on, even though it's been out for like a year on PC. It is something we brought up, and there was a reason why right now it isn't working as intended, because it's still doing the bizarre routes. So we are aware of that, and we'll push for it to be added as soon as possible.
So, Sick had an idea on Twitch, which was like trading in certain kinds of loot, like thousands of them, to be able to get certain pity items. I can think of ways as to why that wouldn't work, but I like the idea of being able to do different kinds of things on, like alternate methods to be able to get certain like light treasures, and that would be nice to see, to kind of validate what it is that you're doing in that area at an easier rate. So
someone brought up that PC got their roadmap during the Heidel Ball, and we were told that we'd be getting it soon. That roadmap actually completely went out the window. There's been a very big change in focus of the developers in general, like which way we should go and where we should move to. So that invalidated theirs. Ours has been kind of tricky.
Has been reworked multiple times,
Yeah.
essentially.
And with the performance issues we've had as of late, it's something that, like, if we give ourselves that big roadmap that we have to hit bang, 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 will the trade-off come in performance? Like,
Yeah.
so we're looking into the performance right now, seeing how that goes. That's kind of been the number one priority for a while, but I think it's kind of gained more further within the company, is that we want to, like, really bang out the performance lately, see how it goes from there.
No, Puppet, I agree. That's actually one of the reasons why I would say that it wouldn't work in that end. But, yeah. Where did it go? When is PS5 going to get the same frames as Xbox, or is this a PlayStation-related issue? You can't say that it's only on the platform. That's a concerted effort. However, how do I say this? Can I say about it? No, I don't think I'm allowed to, actually. That would be bad. But essentially, when it comes to frames on a PS5 game or games running on a PS5, there are certain things that you need to be able to do before it hits that. And that's a concerted effort between us, Sony, and ironically, Microsoft. But again, when that comes out, it comes out. I don't have more details than that.
And someone picked up on the fact that I said as of late. As of late, it has been getting worse. It has been going steadily the wrong direction. Yes, it was always kind of iffy, but it has been slowly declining. So that's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Fixed positions for skill cooldowns. That was asked in the UI meeting we had the other day. Karma system is being looked into, actually, I guess, every now and then. Not sure what's going on with it, though. Buff Zerk PvE, we'll wait for the rework and see how that goes.
Haven't had any of these crashes that are free. I would say, honestly, as much as I'd be like, see, we're all good. No. We have had more crashes and stutters and whatnot and lag. So that's something that...
But some people, like, it is like some people don't get them and some people do. And it is weird to say that some people get it, some people don't. But legitimately, some people out there are like, yo, everything's fine. Some people are like, yeah, this is the worst it's ever been. It really does seem to change depending on, I don't know, particular circumstances of, like, you know, the console. Maybe there's slightly different parts in it. I don't know. But
that's what I mean. Like, I wouldn't say that they're wrong in saying that, but I would say that
there is another side of it that is saying, like, I have issues. There are issues. So, like, yeah. Because I don't actually crash. I only get the Xbox Series X shutting down after so long. And, you know, the occasional stutter. But, yeah, I don't know what. Personally, I am not the developer, so I don't know what it is.
And also, like, I see people in chat kind of going off at someone. I would say I'm not going to invalidate that person because, like, there are people who haven't had those issues. However, I have.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and in trying to reproduce it, trying to get, like, the reproduction of said issue 100% consistently, regardless of time, that's one of the things that we've kind of been working on. So I don't mind when people say, like, I have these issues versus I've never had this issue. It's something to take in and keep taking in. Just moves us one step closer. But yeah, if you haven't had those issues, awesome. But there are a lot of people who have had those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people might just not see it. Like, it sounds weird, but some people might, not intentionally, but subconsciously maybe ignore it without even realizing it's there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we are aware of the issues. And obviously, all the videos have helped. We've been sending them, trying to replicate on both live and dev servers and things like that. It is kind of become the focus again. More heavily than before. Because, like, you know, content coming, performance as well. they went hand in hand. Maybe it'll switch, I don't know, but we are really concerned by the current performance. I never crash, but I get stutters in RBF. That's actually kind of fair. I have some. We've had quite a lot of recordings on the stutters, actually. And also, like, people who do a, let's say, backwards movement skill, get the stutter, and then end up on the other side of the map. Again, all that has been reported and sent to, like, the people who are in charge of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Will we ever be able to sell from storage? No idea of when that will be implemented. Remember, for labs, certain things get added and then decided that, like, it's not working as we want it to, so it stays there for a little bit until it's reworked.
Game Stars a bunch. Yeah, the Game Stars, it has been ranging a lot. Like, I would say there's more people that have been experiencing it than not.
Yeah, 100%.
And have been more vocal about it. But, yeah, I wouldn't say that it's not happening. That's silly to say. Trent, any news on GMs for life skill missions? Oh, guild missions for life skill missions as news for combat zones. Not that I know of. I don't believe that it's a... James, not gonna. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's a priority at the moment. In terms of Black Desert IP as a whole, right now we're working on the character renewals and reworks and stuff, right? That is Black Desert as an IP for both online and online and console. To say that the character renewals don't affect console, like we're not ready for that, is silly. I think that the renewals will be good for all across the board on that, in terms of like a new flavor to kind of mess around with. Whether you like it or not is probably going to be up to the individual person. And as Shirna said, we're trying to make sure that we don't take away the core element of said classes, of how to play those things. But I don't believe that the guild missions are up there, because on top of the character renewals, the optimization and the lagging and all that kind of stuff needs to be higher than that. So unfortunately, I don't believe that that's a priority at the moment. Yeah. You good?
Yeah, I was going to test something the highest. I think it's 30 is the highest. 30 is the highest stack you can do with the Blackstones, but unfortunately, because I have the stack on this character, I can't quite check it. So I'll check that in a second.
Yeah, no, cheers. Like, that was a good question, and kind of helped me kind of reiterate what it is that we're kind of going towards right now. Where did it... Unlock all hairstyles to every class. Do I want that? Do we want that? It would be. Having hairstyles on all classes.
It's not.
But again, probably not the highest priorities.
Yeah.
I would like it, but I don't think that would be the highest priorities at this moment. What's the new stack interface? The new stack interface just allows you to create stacks using Blackstones. So whether you use armor or weapon, you choose one of them, and then you create a stack, and then it can add Valk's Cry onto them. How long are you going to be wearing those masks? Until we're all vaccinated and safe, because it is a personal responsibility I have towards my fellow human beings. Yeah. Plus, I haven't felt sick since I've been wearing masks, which has been great. I've nearly broken my leg, but the mask does not help with that.
I almost, yeah. I walked off a bridge.
I think, did I tell you this? So I tried doing fly yoga, right? So, sorry, this is completely off topic, but I tried doing fly yoga, and I told some people in Discord about this, because I was just like, man, like, I want to do this. I've never done this before. And they said you should take it easy. And what I heard was, you are now Batman. So I tried to do, like, crazy flips, and then I landed on my knee wrong. Fly yoga is when you use the bands and you go up in the air and you do flips and you look like Robin from Batman.
You did not look like Robin from Batman.
No, I look like Alfred. And like, I just got busted. So I was like walking with a limp for like a week and a half. And it did not do well for me. So, yeah. But no, I think the masks are a good thing for us. Like, in terms of just keeping everyone safe. Vaccination has been kind of rolling out pretty smoothly these days. Obviously, it might be, how do I say this? Messed up in the future. But yeah.
Okay, plus 30 is the maximum stack you can do with the Blackstones. It takes 84 Blackstone weapons to make a 30 stack. And for armor, it's the same 84 armor stones for a 30 stack. Zerker and Sork are the next I heard. That's going by the original release date, which might not be the case of when they're announced. But yeah. Maybe not. It's one of those weird issues where it might be, it might not be. Someone asked, like, why has it taken X event to happen for the character reworks? The character reworks have been on the cards for a while. That's why, like, they were so confident about when they were going to start releasing them during the Hydo Ball, is because a lot of them were over, let's say, 70% done. They had been on the cards for a while, and they got bought up.
The reworks?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were in the midst of working on it. I'm not gonna even feel like if you did that, you probably deserved it. But if you feel like something went wrong with your devouring of an item for stacks, you gotta send a ticket about that, and maybe they can help with it. But I doubt they can, because if you had devoured a pen weapon for a stack, I don't think you'll get that back.
Guild daily login rewards. They come back every now and then. Like the special ones for guilds medium sized or above. They come back every now and then. I don't think, because we just had the special login for the PlayStation anniversary. I don't think there'll be a guild login soon, but that could change. Like guild logins and stuff. Someone asked about why don't we get guild logins. It's because, like, they're generally special. They usually have, like, pearl items in them and stuff like that. So because we just had the PlayStation one, I assume it'll be delayed or in the future of things. How about vet rewards for longtime players? I mean, this comes up in nearly every game that has some kind of, like, new and returning user push. Vet players, like, say, why don't we get it? Why don't we get it? I mean, it's... I have to try and think how I can not offend literally everyone. I'm trying to think of a nicer way to say it. Basically, those people who've been playing the game have been getting rewards. Yes, the new and returning user rewards look bigger, but you get rewards from playing the game. You get rewards from your daily logins, your family fame fund, your guild funds, the items that you get, the drop rates, all this kind of stuff builds up. And while, you look at new and returning users and you're like, okay, well, they get XYZ of XYZ value. It is kind of, and I'm guilty of this because I've done this in the past and I do continue to bring it up. For other games, obviously not the one I work on, but other games I play, it's like, well, my daily login, I'm a veteran player. But when you consider, like, how much someone possibly could have earned in X period, let's say, like, I don't know, a month, and then you look at a new user login reward for a month, it's very, like, even though it looks better for the new user, the veteran player, the person who's playing every day, most likely earns more than that. It is a difficult balance, though. When Hadoom, no idea.
Yeah, I know about this argument. In regards to, like, vet rewards and stuff, again, both sides, right? Like, the fact that someone has spent this much time and then you see other people get rewards, but you're not entitled to that or you're not eligible for that
100%.
kind of thing, kind of sucks. So, kind of have to think about that one. Okay.
But we just had the PlayStation login reward, and a new user who comes in after this week will never get that reward. Like there are these special ones that are for people who are playing long term.
Also, what deems them vets and stuff. Yeah, that's a good point too. Like, again, it's tough.
It is, and it's one of those things that does come up in balance. When I see new user things, there's still that part. I've been working in the gaming industry for nearly 6 years. There's still that part of me that's like, but what about me, bro?
Yeah.
And I still think like that, and then I'm like, dude, how it works.
Did we say the class rework was done
already? No. I said the class rework.
We're being already worked on.
Yeah. We're being worked on before it was announced.
That's what we said, right? If we said it wrong, that's our bad. But yeah, that's odd.
Basically, the way that it worked is they had started before and had a general idea and were working on it. Then it was announced. Not that it was finished and we're just slowly doing it, because don't forget we're still going through the feedback period as well. AMD FSR. Again, it's something that we are looking into. Whether it'll be something we could just push randomly or if it has to come in an update, it is something that we are looking into.
So we did say that sniped? Okay. We were definitely wrong about that if we said it was already done.
Yeah, I was definitely wrong. They were works in progress at that point. My bad. I misspoke.
Yeah.
When is the new season? We have no information on that right now.
What about the updated loyalty shop? Wait, updated loyalty shop? The one that PC has?
We have it. Right?
Right? Are we talking about the same thing where it's there's certain things that you can now buy that weren't available beforehand? 'Cause I want to say that that's the one that we're both kind of talking about at this point that's in.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Oh, you said that they were 70% or so done.
Oh, okay. That's why we were comfortable with the release date, as they were 70% done with the reworks. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, certain classes, not entirely.
Yeah. I'm not saying 6 classes were done. Okay, I guess I should have been more upfront with that. It's not that 70% of the classes were done. 70% of the work had been done. And some people might take that as oh, this was done. It's not a progress bar that you build up. Maybe all the design work had been done and the development work was starting, but they were confident it would be done. Again, guys, it wasn't finished before then.
Yep.
Okay. 7-Day Book of Life would be nice. It would be, actually. I don't know if those loyalty, 7-Day Book of Life for 2,800 loyalties, that would be more of a one-time purchase, right? That would be 14 days, 2 weeks, 2,800. 200 times 14. Yeah, it'd be 2 weeks. That would be an event level. I think it would have to be higher if it was more than a one-time purchase. But yeah, something to look into. A Book of Life. There is a reason why the Book of Life was taken down, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was rolled into the Camasilv book, right?
That was part of the reworks there, yeah.
Yeah, it was rolled into the Camasilv book.
Anything else with this? I think in all honesty, and I've said this earlier, and I'll say it again, the class reworks is a priority for all of Black Desert as an IP. And on the case of console, optimization and all that kind of stuff has to be a part of that. You know what I mean? So, that is why we're going to have our own letter kind of thing. We do have certain things that are console specific, as stated last week, and that's why we're doing that.
Someone brought up a current bug, and I wanted to see if I have anyone who can test if it's been fixed. Basically, the Ackman and Histria pillars disappeared. Sorry. So the pillars have been kind of deleted. It is a bug. It is something that I was told was going to be fixed as soon as possible. Because I believe, we have the issue where the pillars don't show, and everyone was very aware of it when I reported it.
You good?
Oh, my throat is drier than the desert.
I think for this one, at this point we're kind of going around with the optimization stuff. Well,
let me just double check if the pillars are visible. Obviously, I'm gonna have to find a portal on. We have 2 servers, which is gonna make it difficult.
You're gonna test that? Okay. We've been saying that console will be getting their own patches for 2 years and nothing has changed. Yeah, honestly, like, because what happened was, like, and we have said this as a team, like, you know, if... Did Jessamine say this? Jessamine also said this during the Huddle Ball, which was, like, if console it needs a certain thing for themselves that are specific to it, then we're going to go ahead and do that. And unfortunately, this also kind of ties into some of the other stuff where it's just like, what about roadmap and this stuff? And it shows that you're not focused on console. I think a lot of things that have happened on PC with, like, that was announced on PC, sorry, which was like the change in focus and stuff like that. Because it was announced on PC, people felt it was only for PC. And even so, like, if it comes to us later than it does on online, it affects us as well. So in terms of what the development focus has been towards that, we've been kind of running in that direction. So whereas all the things that we kind of announced for Black Desert as a whole during, what was the last one? It's Heidel Ball, right? Heidel.
Yeah.
During the Heidel Ball, that has been kind of refocused and reworked in that sense. In terms of priorities. So I think announcing like I said before, and I've said this in private to quite a few people actually, that giving out a roadmap and then being like, okay, this isn't as good as the last one in the way that we've done it, you know, in the past. We really wanted to take our time with console with that. But as someone else has also said, you know, as long as you communicate something, that'd be good. Which is why the letter's coming out. But I don't think I can win on either end on that. So that's pretty much what I'm going for.
I will say the pillar. Okay, I'm going to go back to the pillars thing because that's what I was looking for. The pillars thing, it is a bug. It is not intended that the pillars don't appear anymore. So if it's fixed in this update or a future update, it is a bug. The maintenance time will be tomorrow, normal time. Kashimu was just trying to yeet himself out of the room, so pull him back in.
No, Mad Dog, like, I get what you mean by that, and like but I also understand why people are upset with certain things. Do you know what I mean? Like, I understand the development side of things as to why it is the way it is and why the speed at which we're going is the way that we're going. But from a user standpoint, I understand where the frustration is coming from on that. Did you guys say when the letter was coming out? I said it's later this week, and if there's a delay with it, we'll announce it somewhere. It's tentatively scheduled for that.
I'll see if I can put this in the patch notes, but the pillars have been fixed. I managed to find a portal.
Also, with maintenances for tomorrow?
Yep.
Do you want to announce them?
September 7th, 11 p.m. until 3 a.m. September 8th for NA, and that is in PDT. September 8th, 7 a.m. until 11 a.m. UTC +1, and for Asia, it will be 2 p.m. till 6 p.m. GMT +9. So the usual times for everyone here in the update schedule. So that is when maintenance will be taking place.
Cool. And I think at this point, we're pretty much almost done.
Yeah? I think so.
What? I'll look at the mole question off stream. Yeah. I know people are going with it. I'm sure they hate doing these streams. They can't be 100% honest. It's not so much as that. It's more like there's a communication issue in that sense, where it's like, because we work at PA There are certain things that we may know or may not know, and we can't say those things. And like I've said before, like it's working at a company, and when things like that change or may break certain policies, not even from within our own company, but in terms of our agreements with certain platforms that we're working with. As much as I want to be like, yo, I want to be the hero of the community and be the greatest and, you know, be loved by everybody. Unfortunately, this role within the company and within the community is also to be a pillar of hatred, to be the lightning rod of hate. And I'm okay with that. In fact, that's actually what you need to do, because it's a difference between having honest conversations and having conversations where you don't hear the answers that you want to hear. And I would like to say this about ourselves, in that we've been having the honest conversation, maybe not to the point that the information that you want to hear has been said. And that kind of sucks. And I know that. Our role is to... No. I'm even though it's not on us, I'm taking it. Like, that's what the role is meant to be. Mm-hmm. You're not meant to... And I think it'd be a disservice to the community if I was just like, yo, I'm going to fight for you guys and you guys and you guys and you guys. We've seen this happen in other games where you only represent the streamer community. You only represent the Discord community. You only represent your guild that you never tell anyone that you're a part of because you're not a part of that, but you only represent them. Like, that is a huge disservice. The other disservice that you'd be doing is if I go to, like, Jessognim, because, like, we can go to him, right? Which is dope. But going to Jessognim is like, yo, fix this. You're foolish. You're in insert expletive and stuff. Is not a communication. That is not. In any facet of life, in any job that you work at, that is not communication. As much as some of you would like us to do that and would make you guys happy, it doesn't help the project as a whole. And that's our role. Like, we have to navigate through that. You know what I mean? Blink twice if you're held at gunpoint. If I was held at gunpoint, I wouldn't be allowed to talk like this, to be really honest. So this will be a conversation when the stream is done.
I guess there's a reason why Kashima left the room.
Yeah, Kashima just bounced.
He's gone to get the gun.
And the DMs and all that kind of stuff, no, like, we're meant to. I think the thing that kind of maybe would frustrate me is when it goes in either extremes. Like, yo, don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong. You know, like, I'm completely happy with the Forest Path Wagon update. It's like, no, you're not.
Dude, that streaming update was one of the...
It was one of the worst streams that we've ever done. As well as, like, there was a small lull of update. There was a lull in updates, right? And we were going on streams, and people were like, we're gonna straight up kill them. And it was just like, cool. You're meant to do that. Which sucks. Like, as much as I would like everyone to play nice, you're meant to do that. Our jobs, as... Ooh, I was about to curse. As terrible as this may seem, and as masochist as it may seem, is for us to take that, channel it, reword it, communicate it, and do that. And even with the devs, right? And when I say devs, I mean the company as a whole. Take what they say, filter what they say, reword it, and in our case, translate it, and then deliver that in a way that kind of reaches the most people, as well as not jeopardize both the community and the company. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to say something that, like, is a story from a distant past, a different Shirna, let's say. I tried the route of just, like, taking feedback minus the transitional parts in the center that you talked about and just giving it to people. Didn't end well.
Yeah.
Did not end well because, like, if you like, I love you guys, but sometimes, like, there are a lot of expletives in some of the trends that come through. And I used to try, this is way back early, I'd go like, oh, look how serious it is, and send it like that. And it'd be like, look, man, you can't put those kind of words in the public domain. Like, you know, again, you can't just be, as much as some people kind of like idolize the person who goes and slams the table and is like, do this, do this, do this, the real world doesn't work the way it does in the movies.
But it kind of makes sense too, right? Like sometimes you kind of have to push that boundary, and we
Yeah.
kind of have to call our battles on that as a team. The other thing I would say is like someone was saying like, why don't you just have a dev on here? And I was like, translations, live interpretations is gonna be kind of tough. Honestly, it isn't even so much as gauging the temperature of like YouTube and Twitch
Yeah.
in the way that they're whatever. It's more so the live interpretations, making sure that we can actually do that, as well as some people don't have, and as arrogant as this may sound, our ability to stream. Some people may say we have a lack of ability to stream, which is perfectly fine, but some people can't do that, and that kind of sucks. But when it comes down to showing certain flows of conversation, it's imperative on us to be able to show that properly.
I want to pick up on what Juado said. Like, one of the issues is like, apparently we're like, I'm the Valve, for example, is that, you know, a good idea comes up, we shut it down, it never gets reported. That doesn't happen. And we've spoke about this before when it comes to like information you guys present. We play devil's advocate because we know how conversations will go. If we say like, do this, like you guys say like, okay, do this change on this. I'm not sure. I can't even think of an example. We'll come out and say like, okay, but what about this? And it looks as though we're shutting it down, but really it's kind of planning for the eventuality that a discussion will happen about something.
Because what happens is like, for example, if Shirna is the king of PA and I'm a CM and I come to him with something that's like, hey, what about, what's an issue that's not going to trigger everyone right now? What about making Creo a playable character, right? And then someone in Shirna's position would ask a question about it. And it's like, well, how does the community feel about this? So the difference in that conversation, what happens, isn't so much as being providing in a logical answer right away. It's more like when we have these conversations, people go, well, how does the community feel about this part of it? Or this part of it? Or this part of it? Or this part about it? We have to be ready with that, because us going back and forth doesn't really work that way, even though it seems like that. The other side of what happens is they'll have their discussions and their things and their devil's advocate that they're going to be playing, and we have to be ready with that as well, which is indicative on us.
Yeah, and I will say that both of us here, even if we disagree with an idea, like there have been ideas that have come up that I have been like, nah, that's just, I can't report that. I do, and I have to, and so does Trent. When Trent gets an opinion, let's take something silly, the Dream Donkey idea. It was something that like you were 100% on board with. I was like, no.
With the community, I was very much on board with it. When going up to Jezongnim and being like, so
Dream Donkeys.
So, but that's one example out of others.
Even though like I was against it, we still have to report it. We don't use our personal biases to influence what we report from the community. If that has ever come up and people think that way, that's just not how it goes. We do take, even if we 100% disagree with something, we do report it and we still give it a conversation.
Yeah, and like again, I think the what about this or what about this, like that conversation can happen forever. So I don't think either the community or developers or PA in general will ever kind of come together on that, because there's always going to be the whataboutism arguments. But it's incumbent on us to be able to do that. So this goes back to the first question that where all this spawned up from. I enjoy these streams, and I like, yeah, I'm going to feel a certain way about it before and after. And my job is to decompress, be able to let go of certain feelings that I may personally have about something, and then go from there. There's also certain stuff that like, Foil, I know what you mean. I'll touch on that in a sec. So there were certain things that are presented by certain parts of the community as an argument. And as then it becomes biblical in a sense. Like this is exactly what is happening, etc. So like a straw man's argument, you just kind of go from point to point to point to point, and then when you look back, you're like, I don't know where the point started.
Yeah.
That part is tough for us to kind of commentate on, because for us to shut down certain rumors means to announce something that we personally aren't supposed to. In fact, I don't think we should ever do that. It should be as a company.
I missed the follow-up to the question about yours got stuck.
Oh, sorry.
I missed the follow-up from, I think it was Huado in YouTube. I missed the follow-up on that. I'm sorry. Chat went a little bit too fast, and I don't have control.
Apologies
over
for
it.
that.
It was a few minutes ago.
What did I miss? A lot. There was a huge conversation, but this update, and if you mean in terms of update, is a lot of quality of life changes. One of which being you can make your own stacks using blackstones and whatnot. I thought you were going to continue on with this, but okay, I guess I'll continue with this. You
Wait,
can
what?
explain the update really quickly.
Oh.
Quality of life changes, so enhancements. So you can
want
make
me
your
to
own
quickly
stacks
do
with
it?
blackstones. You can get pet groups. Anything else you got?
Pet groups, Moonlight Stone now has a few other quests to be able to get the powder for the pen enhancements. Skill filters to show like super armor and things like that. Red Battlefield now has different color UIs, different color squares to show enemies and allies. Weight potion reduction, a bunch of node war changes and things like that, and that's about it.
All of which will be in the patch notes released tomorrow. Also, for those of you who stream and live translate and stuff, I'll try to get the patch notes up relatively on time. Last time was a bit of a mistake on my part specifically. To give a behind-the-scenes thing that doesn't really matter, we have to publish the patch notes, right?
Uh-huh.
I went to go do it, and then I accidentally put the German patch notes in other languages. So if you were on the English one, it would show up in German and all that kind of stuff. So that was on me. I was a problem with that. This time they've taught me well, so
Yeah.
I'll do it properly this time.
Someone's bringing up the Great Depression of Blackstones. It's not so much that there are no Blackstones, it's the fact that everyone is keeping them. And they've seen more use recently, like more value to people. So people aren't selling them. People are getting them and hoarding them because like it's not like Blackstones had reduced drop rates because they're still dropping as frequently as before. It's just instead of one person going, well, you know, I don't need this for now, I'm gonna sell it. They're going, all right, well, I'll keep it for the pen accessory event, or I'll keep it for stack building, or this, that, the other. The stones are still coming in as thick and fast as always. The difference is people's opinion on the value of a Blackstone has changed.
Yes, I'll be better about it this time.
And
That's on me.
BMCs as well, for exactly the same reason. Magical shards are used in the pen accessory event and a few other things. Therefore, black magic crystals are not being sold. People's perceived value, that's what I was looking for. The perceived value has increased on those items, so nobody's selling them. And again, the CM value needs to be a lot higher for Blackstones, but that won't solve it if people need them for X, Y, and Z. It sounds like, you know, we have to incentivize people to sell. But even if you incentivize people to sell, people still need them. So why would I sell it now for momentary money gain and hamper myself in the long run because I won't be able to do X, Y, Z? It's a balance. And right now, the balance has shifted to people hoarding them, overselling them. We had, 2 years of people just selling them, and now it has shifted the other way.
Which is something I think a lot of people genuinely wanted. But like I said, I don't think you'll ever be able to please both communities in terms of the buyers versus the sellers and stuff like that. So on that end, like I think we're going to move from that conversation. What? We need to be able to
Convert chicken meat into Blackstone somehow.
No. Well, gonna send that one to Jasognu.
I don't know if you've It's in my cooking, man. I can turn chicken into blackstone real easy.
Yep.
Leave it in the oven for a couple of hours. Come back. You have a blackstone chicken.
That'll be interesting. And even though I said about half an hour ago that's pretty much the end, and I went into a rant, and I very much apologize. I'm sure someone will speak to me about this, but yeah, I think that's... It's difficult for us to kind of... When we kind of have to gauge the temperature of chats in general. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So like for us to be jovial and to joke around and start doing random stories, sometimes we need a break so that we can continue on with the discussion. But we just kind of have to gauge that temperature. So it's, even though we have a more, or at least for myself, like my tone is a lot more different than past streams, still enjoy this. And this is a part of a job that I genuinely like.
For anyone who needs Blackstones, Manshams, also Ackman History, I tend to drop a ton of them, as well as Scrolls. Where have I been grinding? Yeah, you don't get that many from Star's End and Sick, from what I know, but they do appear in other places.
Is Black Desert ever going to do a promotion with something like Dirt Pepper? No. Would we?
No, I don't think so. Also, Voodoo Dolls, any of the Hunter Seal exchanges, like there are ways to get even more Blackstones. World Bosses will give you Blackstones plus Hunter Seals as well. Someone bought something up and I lost it, and I was thinking about it.
You can keep looking through it. Is there a recap of the stream? No, because this Q&A gets super erratic, and I know it's not for a lot of people. But we are working on something. However, that is a space for people to fill. There's quite a few people who do it. I know amongst partners, people do it. Like Hideous does it. Iron does it. And people who are non-partners, like Sidoriya also does it and stuff like that. There's quite a few, and Chris also does it. So there's quite a few people who do summaries. In fact, during our stream, because as soon as we hit the Q&A, they're like, all right, we're done. We're going to start making our content. And that's good. Also, YouTube can rewind, but Twitch cannot. So yeah, people will make that kind of content.
The censor was the one that I was going to hit on, the chat censor.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems to have got worse again. It seems to have re-added could as a curse word, at least on Xbox.
Yeah.
We've messaged the people who we have contact with about those. For people saying, like, turn it on, turn it off, I believe there is a reason. If I remember correctly, it used to be that it expedited cert process. I don't know if that's still the case, but we'll take a look.
Did people just start hosting us again?
Can we press the blue button, please, Kashima? Just.
We're not really good content creators.
No.
We're supposed to give like thank yous to people who host us and rate us and stuff like that.
We don't have the pop-ups. We don't have Streamlabs open or anything like that open here, so we don't see people who host us and stuff like that.
For those of you who have hosted us or rated us or whatever the case may be, thank you for joining us for this. Where to go? Could was always a curse word?
It had a little period where it was actually removed, and it's come back.
Shouldn't be saying that word in the first place.
Yeah. It hasn't always been there, at least not on my... No. You could say... Oh, wait.
If we increase the game rating, could you remove this chat censors? I believe that is a component as to why that doesn't happen, or why the censor is the way it is. But I don't think it's the only reason.
It's not even the main reason.
Like, it's a component of it, but you
just a reminder that online interaction is very rarely certified.
Is that something that we're allowed to say?
No, but I mean...
Then why?
online, like, if anyone grew up remembers, like, when games used to have that, online interactivity is not included in this rating. There are other reasons for it, though.
Oh, man.
There was something I was thinking of when you said that, and I've lost it.
About?
Kashima
fell asleep in the... I got messed up a bit. But yeah, again, thanks for people who are joining us and stuff like that. It's always kind of nice. Anything else that we need to talk about at this moment?
No. Oh, Karanda being censored. It's because of Rand in the middle. Yes, I know it is also a currency in South Africa, but it also has other meanings. Just a reminder, the stars are the ones that we can, at least on our end, take a look into and see why they're done. The ones that delete your messages are platform specific.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. I was thinking the guild chat from phone thing, because I remember we had a discussion about the filters through that. But I thought it was removed. I could have sworn it was off the list for about like a month. I'll get in touch with the people again. What's random mean? It's probably something that'll get me fired.
Why do you keep saying it? Why? I feel like you shouldn't be saying that. Man. But yes, the rating isn't, like Shirna said, it's not the only component, and apparently not even the main component, but I know it is something with it.
Just saw that class we had Shirna put on his...
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I never turned around and denied that, because I immediately after the stream went and asked about it. It's something that I actually really wanted to do.
Which one?
The arena class tournament stuff. But we were talking about the format being class versus class instead of class versus different class. Remember when we had that discussion? It was like 3 streams ago, when we were talking like, I don't see why class versus class would have as much balance over like class versus other class.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
We had a huge discussion about it. I guess they're thinking like that. I was just talking from like a purely stats kind of side, but like legitimately that did not interfere with any of the reports. As much as
it was talked about.
It was talked about, yeah. As much as I would like to do a multi-class small team base, which I think is more fun, if there was a class versus class, so be it.
Yeah. Where'd it go?
Can we fix the residence in Logia Farm? It's always bugged. If you're having that issue where the door doesn't appear, I mean, switch servers sometimes fixes it, sometimes restarting the game. I can't remember. There was a reason why it happens, and I think it's to do with network conditions. But that might be something else similarly related. I'd have to go in and investigate again.
You would need to make a PvP gear set to help with PvP. A PvP-based gear set?
That was brought up in the Heidel Ball.
Yeah, and what was it?
Can we get the option to hide?
There was something else with that, but like the gear... no. Can't explain too much about that. It was heavily considered, but we did talk about the in Heidel Ball.
Yep. Can we get the option to hide boats? Velia is full of parked abandoned boats. I'll bring it back up. It is something we've talked quite a bit about, and I can't remember. If I remember correctly, like, no, I don't think I can say that.
When we resize the UI is placed smack dab in the middle of the screen. Why?
The ratio, the aspect ratio.
It's because it's meant for the screen itself.
Yeah.
Right? The UI size is meant for this screen, the size screen that you have, and then from the edit UI in general, that's when you can start moving stuff around.
Winter, haha, just PvP empty boats. I tried that. Had to go repair some karma. Yeah, it was a rough day.
You started smacking around empty boats?
Dude, it was in the shipping lanes.
Fair.
Someone parked a fishing boat in a shipping lane. What else? Am I supposed to just leave it there? No, dude, I blew it up.
You're a terrible human. I bet you're one of the...
Well, I learned a lesson because, like, my bordering character that has 0 gear had to go and like somehow grind back karma so I wasn't instantly popped by everyone with an offensive ship.
You one of those people too when you're in the grocery store and you're on your route, someone's in your way, you just kick their cart off the side?
I do push it myself, yeah.
Are you serious?
I don't kick it off, but I'll push my cart and I'll push theirs out the way so I can get through. What am I supposed to do? Sit and wait? Man, traffic inside a grocery store?
Just go around it, man.
No, if I could go around it, I would. But if they park it in the middle of the lane, and they're standing here so I can't get here, and someone else is here, man, I'm gonna move it to the side. Keep shipping lanes clear.
Oh, man, I didn't think that this would bring about a rage in you. I'm sorry for bringing that up.
Shirna flags up for life skilling spots. Facts actually is fact.
That is actually fact. I've seen this happen.
Yeah. I've had someone take my farm from me. Let's just say things got a little bit heated. But no, man, you just wait. If the whole lane is blocked up.
No, I just asked the person, like, hey, I'm trying to get my way
takes
through
too
here.
long, man. Just move it.
And the person's there?
If they're standing to the side and they've put their cart in the middle and there's someone standing here and you can't get through, yes, I'll move it. It's not like they've bought it. While it's in the cart, it's still property of the supermarket. Therefore, if I wanted to put my hand in and throw everything out of the cart, legally in my right to, because they haven't purchased it yet.
I just honk. Or like the equivalent of honking, I just like rattle the chain with the key that's in it.
Okay, can we edit the placement level point of and the minimap? There was a reason the minimap is in the corner. I can't remember what it is.
If
Man,
the boat
my
is in the
memory
harbor
lately-
longer than...
My memory lately has been absolutely awful. The level point stuff, I believe, has to stay in the top corner. But again, it's something that has been requested that they move. The minimap as well has been requested to move around. But if you bring the bounds of your screen in, you won't be able to break out of those bounds.
Yeah.
Mostly because like the screen bounding thing legitimately is for making sure things aren't cut off on the edges. And if UI could be placed outside of the edges, it wouldn't do its function. So yeah.
But at this point, I think we should call the stream at this point. We've been going for 2 hours, which has been nice. Kashima, you good? Okay.
Yeah, you can't move it.
Okay, I think we're gonna call it here then, because most of it is kind of going back and forth. A lot of this stuff of like fix, insert issue here. I know Kashima has collected them, and then again sort through those, present them in a way that is presentable, and then send that over. I'll also have to go through DMs because a few people in chat were saying I sent you DMs about this issue in particular. Let's go from there. So from here, we're gonna have to call it.
Yep. Guys, seriously, thank you for joining us. It's been a heavy stream.
Heavy, but again, I enjoy it. I wouldn't necessarily say it was fun, ha ha ha, but I enjoy the stream.
Yeah. And we'll take the feedback. We go through the chats, just so we're clear. We go through the chats at the end and then report on everything that has been discussed. So if we didn't talk about something, it will be brought up to the relevant parties. Anything else that we should close out with?
Have a good and safe time.
Yeah, be safe. And guys, don't forget, there will probably be a weird update schedule for the next update because we do have a mandated national holiday which you cannot physically do anything about, and it is a 3-day period. So during the Korean Thanksgiving, everyone will be out of the office in the Korean office. So the update schedule might go a little bit wonky there. But that's about it, I think, for any announcements. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you join us next time, whenever that may be. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.